Sis, when is the last time that you looked yourself in the mirror and said, I love you. You are enough. Hey, my name is Marshaun. I am your favorite shift relationship strategist, where I help Black Christian women that are married or in long-term relationships to stop feeling disconnected and unloved and shift you to feeling heard, understood, and appreciated. Now, today we're talking about how to speak from a place of love to yourself or with your partner. Now, before I jump into that, if you have yet to take the Does Your Relationship Need a Rescue quiz, the link is down in the description box below. Also, if you need some help with your relationship, I do have a 30-minute free coaching conversation link down in the description box as well. Go ahead and sign up for your free coaching conversation call today. Now, how do you speak from a place of love? I have several ways that you are going to do that. So the very first one is to be respectful. Be respectful. Listen, be considerate of other people's feelings, emotions, and their ideas. Because if you don't, listen, the energy that you give off is the energy that you are going to receive. If you are being disrespectful, how dare you expect to receive respect? It doesn't work like that. You must be willing to give the things that you want. In this case, you're asking to be respected. So you must be willing to give respect. Be respectful of the other person's feelings, their ideas, as well as their emotions. So you also in turn can receive this respect as well. The second thing is to speak with honesty from your heart, with a high level of truth. You must be open, you must be honest, you must be truthful about the things that you want, the things that you need, the things that you desire. Because that is the only way that your spouse is going to be able to understand how to give you the things that you're asking for. Listen, give your spouse the blueprint, and guess what? You will receive those gifts. You will receive the truth, the path, the respect, right? You'll receive all of the things that you are willingly putting out there by you just being open and honest with the things that you need. Now, does that mean that you're going to get everything that you're asking for? Probably not. But the only way to ensure that you remotely get some of the things that you're asking for, or at least most of them, you must speak them. Get them out. Don't think that your spouse is a mind reader, because most of us are not, right? So don't do that to yourself. Just speak up for the things that you want, the things that you need, the things that you desire. The third thing is to say what's on your mind. Sometimes we have a tendency to hold things in and we don't articulate them for whatever reason. We don't say them. And so we just think that our spouse is just supposed to know. No, it doesn't work like that. You must be willing to open up and say what's on your mind in order to have conversations, in order to get resolutions, in order to get solutions, in order to bring these things to the table so they can get rectified and taken off the table permanently, right? But say what's on your mind. If something doesn't feel right, say that. If you have questions about things, say, you know what, I got questions about the things that you did, the things that you said. I have questions about this. Why is this happening this way? Or why did you do that, right? Because it's all about clarification. It doesn't mean that you're accusing your spouse of anything, but in order for your feelings to be settled and satisfied even, you have to speak and say the things that are on your mind, the things that are starting to bug you, even if it's a little thing. It's a nagging feeling that you have. You can't put your finger on it. You can voice that. You can voice that. Say, I don't really know. It's just something about this thing that it's not sitting well with me. I just can't articulate why it's not sitting well. You can say those words, but speak what's on your mind. The next thing is to know that you're entitled to your feelings. Please understand that you are entitled to your feelings. It doesn't mean that your feelings are right. It just means that you can say, you know what? I have a feeling about this. And I don't know if I feel really good about this. Or, oh my gosh, I have great feelings about this. Let's do it. Or yes, you should do it, right? But when something is not sitting right, as well as when it is sitting right, just know that your feelings are important. Your feelings matter. You should be able to open up and just say what you need to say, articulate those things, and get them off your chest and not feel bad, not feel guilty, not feel shamed, by any of the things that you want to say, right? You're entitled to your feelings. But when you're in your feelings, specifically when you feel like you have been done wrong, I say sit in your sadness for a period of time. Put a time frame around you sitting in your sadness, because you don't want to get stuck in your sadness. Get it out, be sad, marinate if you must, and then move forward. Because if you stay stuck there, then you start to focus on the negative things, and then you're never moving forward. So feel the feelings, because you're entitled to them, but then be willing to move forward and out of those feelings and focus on more positivity, right? The fifth thing is to be clear about your values and your desires. See, some people go along with the flow, and it's not so bad at times, especially if you're a person that's a planner all the time. Going with the flow might do you some good. But if you're a person that always go with the flow, but then at the end of the night, you're feeling like, well, we didn't get to do what I wanted to do. Or I'm always doing what everybody else wants to do, and nobody ever wants to do what I want to do. Have you ever thought that maybe you didn't speak up enough to allow the other person to know? Or speak up enough for you, because literally you're learning how to speak from a place of love. This could be to yourself or to others. But you must be clear about your values as well as about your desires in order to articulate those things, so you can speak from a place of love, so you don't have to go in being angry or, just being upset that your needs were not being met in that moment, no matter who you're speaking to. In this case, most of the time we're talking about our spouses, right? But this could be even to your children. This could be to your friends. This could be to anybody that you come in contact with, right? So be open about your values and your desires. The sixth thing is to be prepared to get things wrong, because none of us are right all the time. You must be prepared to get things wrong, because sometimes our psyche, our mind plays tricks on us. And sometimes those tricks make us look a little silly or even a little stupid, right? And so to avoid that, just understand that it's okay. You're not going to get everything right in life. Just doesn't work that way. Nobody gets everything right. And because you're not getting everything right, it's okay. Just be willing to say, oops, my bad. I was looking at it from a different lens. I didn't even think about what you're saying and how you're saying. I didn't think about it like that. So my bad. You right. I'm wrong. It's fine. Moving on. Right? The last and final thing is to remember to set your ego aside. Because the more that your ego is involved in your relationships, the less likely you are to speak from a place of love. Because the ego is self. It's all about you. You're not thinking about nobody else's feelings. You're not thinking about nobody else's ideas. You ain't thinking about nobody else's emotions. It's all about you, right? It's where you're selfish and self-centered is where the ego stays. So you want to be able to push that ego over there somewhere, over to the side. Because sometimes it's good to have your ego. But when you're speaking from a place of love, usually the ego does not need to be a part of this conversation. Now, let me know which one of these has really helped you or resonated with you down in the comment section below. I am Marshaun Olanio, your favorite shift relationship strategist, where I help Black Christian women that are married or in long-term relationships to stop feeling disconnected and unloved and shift you to feeling heard, understood, and appreciated. I love you guys, and there's nothing that you can do about it. Stick around for the very next video, and I will see you soon. Bye now.